Now, to the most important question, and the question is that of running mate. The Azimio side has had questions about former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, who's pitched for the last 2 weeks about his running mate status in Azimio. On the other hand, newcomer Martha Karua has pitched her tent, and she's got a little support from women. On this other side, there's the question of Anne Waiguru, who some functionaries in UDA are touting her as the proper running mate for William Ruto. Where will this go, Ambrose?
Number one, when you look at the running mate, ideally a running mate should be somebody who would, the click of a button, can be a president. So if you are looking at it ideally, you'll be saying, who can be president anytime, any minute? But that's not what is being looked at. Mm-hmm. It is, number one, being looked at who will bring votes. And when you're looking at who will bring votes, is also you look at who, in whose hands can we be safe. When we say we, I am talking about number one, the oligarchs.
You're back to the oligarchs.
Oh, yes. The world over. This is a capitalist economy, a capitalist country.
Okay.
Somebody worries about his building at city center. Somebody worries about his tax records. Somebody worries about whatever. So these names that you are touting, let us analyze somebody like Honorable Martha Karua. She just joined Azimio just the other day, reluctantly, just because she found herself between a rock and a hard place, or like between the devil and the deep blue sea. What do I mean by that? A rock because to her, Ruto is a no-go zone. Remember, she walked away from Kibaki? Mm-hmm. On this other side, Raila is okay, but surrounding Honorable Raila is Honorable Uhuru and Kalonzo. Again, people that are a hard place for her. But looking at it, she said, I have to be in between. On the other side, she couldn't go to Ruto because she thinks that Ruto is corrupt and all this. And Anne Waiguru, her perennial opponent, is also there. Mm-hmm. So she's here reluctantly. But that is not the issue. The issue is who among the known oligarchs is pushing her, supporting her. Secondly, who among the oligarchs is safe with her? She's the type, having walked from Kibaki, and the way we know her, she's the type that if you are corrupt, she'll easily just take you to court. If you stole, she'll easily... The oligarchs cannot risk with her.
But isn't that the kind of quality we're looking for?
You can't run a country like that. People will kill one another. Please, you can't be a Puritan. Even Puritan parents, they're Puritan. You are either left or right. Things don't work that way. There are people that their taxes are due and you have to negotiate with them. And so her, the fear she generates among the oligarchs.
Your oligarchs.
No, they are not. You remember, look at the ones that invited Honorable Raila, the ones around. They want these things. In fact, some of them can say, stop that man from talking on that TV. And the TV goes. We know them. So there is no oligarch that feels safe with her. She is the type that I don't even think that, I'm sorry to say, this is my opinion, that you'd go in and somebody brings in the ICC files. And she says, no, I want peace in it. She doesn't say, open those files. If it was not closed properly.
So the problem with her is that she's very straight.
Yes.
Okay, let me get this. Yes. I want to get the same view first from Barack. Barack, do you feel the same? Again, you're nodding.
I don't agree. I don't agree at all. In fact, let me say I absolutely don't agree. There are no saints, there are no angels in these things. If we were to place everybody under scrutiny, tight scrutiny, we would not find anybody that we would call Mr. Clean or Miss Clean, people who have no skeletons in the closet. If we were to look at Martha Karua, I think her lowest moment is, of course, in 2007. During the bungled presidential elections, she was hyper active. She's the person who is reported in various reports of having told Kipvui to announce. And of course, it was as a factor of that announcement that the country ruptured, and she has never come clean since that moment. Whenever this matter is brought up, she becomes very caustic. And here we are talking about an election that is perceived to have been stolen. All these people in ODM keep on saying Raila has been winning this election, which means that the election is perceived to have been stolen. The government was stolen. When you have stolen the government, then you are ready to steal anything and everything else in the way. That is a matter that needs to be addressed. When we look at the Kofi Annan mediated talks and the headline stance that were being taken, with Martha Karua telling ODM to accept the outcome and move on or go to court. When we talk about the appointment of commissioners to the then ECK in October 2007, single-handedly by President Mwai Kibaki, at a time when the rest of the political parties were saying, let us have an IPPG kind of arrangement behind and around the appointment of these commissioners. And it was as a factor of that appointment of those commissioners that we had that flawed election and the country sank into its lowest moment. We cannot talk about cleanliness.
Okay.
It surprises us that in June 2009, the same Martha Karua was ready to resign from Kibaki's cabinet because Kibaki had appointed judges to the various courts in the country without consulting her as Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. That was not acceptable. But 2 years earlier, when he was unilaterally appointing commissioners to the ECK, it was acceptable. And there are many other things we could talk about. So let's leave those things of grade 1 cotton aside.
But
they are not clean people.